Haven't been on for a while. I want to just pop on here real quick and make a little video about the Instagram reel that I posted last week that covered the difference between being evidence-based practice and being science-based practice, and a comment that I had somebody post on there today. So that reel, the idea from that reel actually came from somebody who just went through the shift and sent me that video of Mike, the guy that's all over YouTube, and he's a old school dyno conventional PT that's figured out how to wrap up 1980s PT in 2020 marketing and make a shit ton of money off of people who don't know any better. So the gist of the reel was he had 3 evidence-based practice ways to target neuromuscular inhibition. I was shocked he even brought that topic up. Didn't know that was in his vocabulary, but he brought that up. Here's 3 ways that you can reverse inhibition. Number 1, put a bag of ice on it, which is completely false. But if you believe in evidence-based practice, I guarantee you could find a study that would support that. Number 2, using a Theragun, which we've shown I don't know how many times actually causes inhibition. But if you believe in evidence-based practice and you have the time to dig through that, I guarantee you can find a study that would support that. Because if you haven't figured out by reading studies, they are biased. They are to push a narrative. And that's why you can't base what you do on evidence-based practice. And number 3, the thing that they had was using electrical stimulation to facilitate quad contraction, which you can do while the electrical stimulation is on, but it doesn't last. But I'm sure that you could find an evidence-based study that would support that, because once again, you can find anything you want. So that was his take, that there's 3 evidence-based practices. I'm sure those are all techniques that he uses at his facility because he has to sell garbage. It's not about treating patients. It's not doing what's best for patients. It's not being a legitimate clinician who has a massive platform that they could use to help spread the correct information. That's not what it's about. It's about putting as much garbage out there as you can so you can run stuff on YouTube and make a shit ton of money, even though you're screwing people over and making your profession look like a bunch of garbage. So my take was, here's how you can use science to your advantage. Here's muscle physiology, crazy stuff. Here's how we facilitate that. Here's an objective measure showing you before where there is inhibition and after where the inhibition has been reversed. Objective measures of science. So Mike's buddy got on the page today, on the reel today, and posted, we shouldn't be attacking clinicians because, we're all in this together, blah, blah, blah crap. And by the way, you can't do what you just said you did. And has this guy ever followed me, watched anything else? Probably not, because he's too busy setting people up on ultrasound and e-stem and all the other crap. So the reason, and so what I did to his comment is I basically came back and said, hey, FYI, if you didn't know this, if you didn't notice, but our profession is crashing and has been going backwards for decades. Graduates aren't feeling comfortable. They don't make any money. Insurance keeps slashing reimbursement. People are dropping out of the profession 2 to 3 years after getting out. Patients don't return after the 2nd or 3rd visit. So our profession is basically shit. And we have Mike and his buddies to thank for that, because they're the ones that have wrapped up 1980s in 2020 marketing and pushed that to the population of therapists to think that's what they're supposed to do, and patients to think that's what they're supposed to get. So when they do get it and they don't get any results, they don't get any better, then they just give up and stop because they're not dumb enough to keep going back for something that doesn't work. So the reason why I made that reel is because, in my opinion, and I'd like to have your opinion here, in my opinion, if we don't call people out on their bullshit, it's going to continue. So the overwhelming majority of people that have a platform like Mike does, that are huge, like Mike and Rehab to Perform and the 2 guys in ties and all the other clowns out there that do 1980s PT, they have a massive platform. that makes us all look like morons, but makes them a shit ton of money. So in my opinion, we should be standing up for what we should be doing that gets people functional results based on science, and what patients should expect and what they should be getting, so we can out the people that are ruining the profession, in my opinion. Let me know your opinion. Do you think that we should support everybody and have happy rainbows and hearts and everybody's happy together and we all just play in the same sandbox and we don't out people that are pissing in the sandbox? Or do you think we should call out all of the people that are pissing in our sandbox and shitting in our sandbox and say, hey, we'd like to clean up the sandbox and actually have people come to the sandbox for the right reasons and give our patients what they deserve, because we went to 7 years of school and we call ourselves doctors, so we should actually act like that. So let me know your opinion. Do you think, A, that I should be posting things and I should do more posts that call people out, so the public, the general population that doesn't understand this stuff actually has a differing opinion that they can look at and say, well, that makes more sense than this guy who's just going to put a bag of ice on my quad and think that's going to make me stronger? Should I keep on doing that? Should we all be doing that? So it's not just a few people, it's all the other people, because I know that there are other people that think like I do, that share the same opinion. I know that there's grad students and new grads that are out there that are pissed off that they just went through this whole thing, got screwed over and tossed out into the broken medical model, and now they're supposed to be like Mike. So let me know your opinion. Should we all be outing Mikes? Should we all be pushing back and saying there's something better? Or should we all play in the sandbox that has piss and shit in it and say, this is fantastic, and oh, by the way, I'm burnt out. I don't want to do this anymore after 3 years, even though I haven't even put a dent in the student loans that I accumulated to get here. Let me know your opinions.